Hello friends, and welcome to day 9. I thought we would take a little midweek break from our senses and just do a lovely little foot massage. So you could do this before bed, would be a great time, or if you've been out walking a lot and you just want to, or even before you go so that your feet are primed and ready. If you've been sitting at your desk a lot and you just want to bring some energy and awareness into all of the parts of your body, it'd be great. So if you can, sitting in a chair, you can sit on the floor or on your bed. If you can do it without socks and shoes, that would be ideal, obviously. But if you have to keep your socks on because you're at work or something, go ahead. So we are just gonna start, depending on your surface area, it might be easier or harder to do so. We're just gonna start with a couple like leg extensions. So taking whichever leg you decide is your first side, let's begin sitting up tall, and let's actually bring our hands to the top of our head. We're gonna exert a gentle, like 2% pressure. And then I want you to, like as if you could be a tree and just grow up into your hands. So you're rooting through your sit bones to grow up tall. Can you feel the activation in your core there? Then we can let our hands release. We're gonna try and stay as nice and elevated through the core column, like front body and back body. Now with this first leg, let's extend the heel away. We're gonna flex the toes up. Good, and lower down. We're just gonna do a few of those. Now you have this beautiful little VMO muscle here, and sometimes it doesn't like to work, especially on my side where I've had more knee surgeries. So we can just activate it by a little like tickle, scratch, maybe even a little pat, 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 pat. Good. Let's do 3 more extensions. So pressing through the heel, again, belly button draws to spine. We're pressing into that invisible top of our head. So we're nice and elongated and supported through the core. Last one to go out and hold. Good. We're gonna do some circles. I know it might be a little bit hard to see. I'm gonna elevate my foot a little bit. You don't have to do this with your hands. I'm just trying to make sure that you can see my foot. So I'm casting a spell on you with my foot and my toes. Good. And then I'll go the other way. You could even imagine, you know, people who have lost some limbs and teach their feet to do incredible things. I just have so much appreciation for. I can barely draw with my hands. So that's what I was imagining. I had a pencil crayon. I was making some circles. So from here, let's keep our foot out. We're just activating. We're going to point slowly through, flex your toes up, then flex the whole foot. Good, so halfway point and toes, flex the toes up, and one more time. Good, try and support your leg with your core. If you need to use your hand, that's okay too. Up, good, release the leg, down, other side. So we can activate that VMO, good. Heel is lengthening up and away. Can you remind yourself to sit tall? You can even tap into the crown of the head to just encourage that. Good, let's do 3 more. Press out and in and lengthen and in. And I won't tell a story this time to make you hold as long, or maybe I will. Good, so if you could paint a picture, we're doing our circles of our ankle now. If you could paint a picture with your toes, what would you paint? Let's do 1 more before we reverse that circle. And you know, depending on what's happened to your body, one side might feel much more fluid than the other. That's okay. We are giving ourselves grace and kindness. Pointing through the feet. Good. Flex the toes up all the way. Good. So halfway point all the way. In and lengthen to your nose. When I do preschool gymnastics, I'm like, goodbye toes, hello toes. Sorry, that might sound condescending. And lower the leg. Works for 3-year-olds. Good, so now we're gonna get into our little massage. This is also gonna be maybe a glute stretch for me because my beautiful Pilates teacher worked my bum yesterday. So we're going to start doing this. I'm using the strength of our thumbs, pressing up through the middle, doing like a little up and over half circle, and then tracing the outsides of the outer and inner edges of the foot. So just digging in a little bit to the flesh of the foot, coming up and over the metatarsals, that's where the ball of the foot is, and then tracing down the sides of the feet. Good, up and around. Good, you can go, sorry. Sometimes I need to at least, make some noises, especially through the arch of the foot. You can dig in a little bit there. Actually, let's maybe stay and just paddle like this a little bit, like my cat kneading his bed. Oh, good. You can come to the inside a little bit more, to the outside, wherever feels good. Good. Nice. And now, so these, the chunk of the middle of your foot, those are your tarsals. And so they're like the long, so we're going to just try and see if we can get in there. And so I'm just playing a little bit, just opening up. So I would take one hand, fingers like that, sandwich squeezing, and then just playing a little bit, not vigorously, just to kind of create some movement between those. Yeah, so I'm just going duk, 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 duk. If it helps you, you can also duk, 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 duk. Sometimes. And so we're just gonna play each of those bones against the other. Good. And then again with a sandwich squeeze, I'm just gonna lengthen along the toes. Good. Big toe, second toe, middle toe. And then I like to come around the back to go for the fourth and fifth. Good. And then, as if we would have just gotten a pedicure, we're going to feed the pinky finger between the outer two toes. And then sometimes I find my toes feel sticky, so it's hard to get, depending on the size of your toes and your fingers. It's hard to get them in there, but then just a little openness. You can even like pull and give a wiggle. Good. And then like you would pray your hand together, it's just lengthen the foot away. Good. And then like you would be Cinderella putting on your glass slipper, just put your foot down, close your eyes for a moment, and just notice the sensation. Notice the difference in your feet. I can feel a much more three-dimensionality of my foot, if that's even a word, but it is now. Good, and we'll go to the other side. So we started with this beautiful up and over, kind of like you would make like my daughter draws hearts. She's so obsessed. Every day she goes to preschool, she comes home with more heart things. That's so beautiful. So just show some love to your foot, your feetsies. Good. We'll do one more and then we'll stay in the middle with that little knead through the arch. So a lot of these exercises I was very fortunate to learn in dance school. I went to the School of Toronto Dance Theatre. Good, and then we're going to take our little claw hand, and on the top and bottom, we're gonna run through the long bones of your foot. Yeah, so you have 5 toes, so you have 5 of those. Oh, I said tarsals on the first side. These are your metatarsals. Oh, I have brain cells, seriously. It's good to do these things because, you know, all of the knowledge that I had just went to my husband, children, right? And so when you don't do something all the time, you just lose it. Anyway, so what did we do then? Now we're going to do our tuk, 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 tuk. So I'm bringing one to the bone that runs the same along to my big toe, and then the second toe. It might be tricky for you to find it, but you know what? It's your foot, so do what feels good, yeah? Just if it feels good to kind of play the piano on your foot there, do that. We're just trying to wake up and get a little bit more to our feet, yeah? So then let's go to our pedicure. Oh man, it's so hard to get it in between there. They're so tight. But that's a good thing too, right? So when we're doing these exercises, when we're doing some brain things, when we're feeling different things. It's just to remind ourselves, like when we get stuck in what's comfortable, when we get stuck in what's easy, then we're not challenging ourselves in new ways. And that's so important, especially as we age, right? Now we'll do our pray. So it's the kind of, I was lucky to work with a company, Lululemon, and it's that do one thing a day that scares you kind of, or like just keep switching it up because, you know, at a certain point you don't realize that you've been doing the same thing, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, it's been 30 years and I've, you know, had the same breakfast and walked the same route and talked to the same people, and that is wonderful, and I don't want to lose that, but we have to challenge ourselves in new ways too. One of my dear friends, I admire her so much. She's learning languages, she's reading so many books, and I was like, oh, that is what I want to do in my life. And yeah, and help you guys. So I'll stop philosophizing, but just feel your feet on the ground. And let's go in for a second before we end this. So where would you like to put your feet today? Would you like to step into warm sand? Would you like to have a pedicure and have your feet in a nice warm bubbly bath? Maybe some freshly cut grass. Warm stones. Can we use our senses now to, we've awakened our feet. So can you use your other senses? Can you smell the beach? Can you feel the dew from the grass on your feet, or the warmth from the warm rocks or sand? Good. All right. Let's just give our shoulders a little shake, our hands a little shake. Good. Let's just curl in for a moment and sitting. And spiral in with the thumbs out, open the chest. Good, one more of those curling inside, bringing my pinky fingers together, and then I'm rotating my thumb, opening up the chest. Good, reach the arms up like you could yawn. Good, bring your hands to your heart. We'll just do a couple figure eights one way, and then reverse that. Well, I hope you feel even 1% better, and yeah, we'll continue tomorrow with our ears. So have a beautiful day, my friends. Cheers.